70 years ago, my parents moved their 3 sons down to Lakeside Court. That's Lawton Circle. That's a half mile from here. One of my earliest memories was holding a heel of bread in one hand and my mother's hand in the other, and walking down to Swan Lake to feed the swans. – 50 years ago, I reached in my pocket, and 50 years ago this spring, I started carving my profession, which were birds. And I think that experience of walking down here with my mother triggered some of this. Because I was told early on that, Granger, choose one thing to do and do it well. I didn't choose fur. I chose feathers. And I think it was partly because of my many trips to Swan Lake. 10 years ago, next month, as a result of the Williams Bryce Foundation, the City of Sumter, and the Friends of Swan Lake, we installed the recovery stroke down on the peninsula behind y'all, about 150 yards. That was another gift from the Williams Bryce Foundation to the City of Sumter. Now, 2 years ago, the Williams Bryce Foundation, Mayor Joe, and some other city officials approached me and said, Granger, I would like for you to consider to do something for the entrance of Swan Lake. And I pondered that, and I couldn't turn it down. I did a few sketches, I did a model, and I showed it to the delegation, and they seemed to really like it. And you know, that's been 70 years that has gone by since I was walking through these gates with a piece of bread. And it's kind of come full circle. And I am so grateful and thankful for the opportunity that Sumter entrusted me with that special spot right there. And what an honor. Many times in my career, I've been asked, Granger, what's your most favorite sculpture you've ever sculpted? And to try to avoid answering that and to be somewhat cute, I'd say the next one. The next one. And there's some truth to that, because you see, no sculpture that I've ever done has ever lived up to my expectation. And I think because of that, I was eager to get on to the next one, because maybe that one will be the one. A few years back, I was reading and I discovered a prayer, an old Puritan prayer. And that prayer went, may I never seek in creation what can only be found in the Creator. And for some reason, that stuck to the wall of my heart. May I never seek in creation what can only be found in the Creator. Because, see, I'd been seeking in my work for all these years something I could never find. Because James, as you know, it can only be found in the Creator. I was looking for completeness. And that completeness cannot be found in anything I do with my hands. After reading that and marinating in that Puritan prayer, I turned the dial on that thing a little bit. I said, may I never seek in my marriage what can only be found in the Creator. May I never seek in my children. May I never seek in the mirror what can only be found in the Creator. May I never seek in Clemson or Carolina what can only be found in the Creator. When I discovered that, there was a certain completeness that I enjoyed, I think is the word, or because it's nothing I can ever do that I could claim completeness other than acknowledging God for what He has done, not for what I have done. This sculpture behind me is 7 swans. Y'all can count. But I've been asked, now Granger, there are 8 species of swans out there. Why didn't you sculpt 8? And 2 reasons. One is just the design. When I designed it, I tried to put number 8 in there, but it just didn't fit. And then I was reading in Genesis, when God created the earth, He did it in 7 days. And that is, 7 is considered a number of completeness. So all this was tying together. You see the story, the thread that runs through all this. So that's why there's 7 swans.